Hey, What the Suck family. As you may have noticed, we recently switched to Anchor for our podcast hosting needs.
That's right, we were using another site that had us paying $20 a month for services such as unlimited uploading, unlimited hosting, and distribution. Anchor will distribute your podcast to Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and many more, and they do it all for free.
They make it super easy to create and start your podcast directly from their site. You can record and edit directly on the Anchor website or app directly from your phone.
It's your one-stop shop for everything you need to create your own show. They will even help you find sponsors to fund your project.
Just go to anchor.fm and get started today. There really is no easier way to do it. No, I'm not drunk. I'm just tired right now, actually.
What? No! You suck! Oh my
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of You Know What the Fuck You're Listening To. My name is Chris.
Jesus, already going off the
Already
rails.
going off the reservation. All right, so today's episode is number 18.
18.
I forgot how to say 18 in Spanish, so I'm just going to say ocho plus one.
That's nueve, fool.
Oh, my bad, whatever. Anyway, so today's episode is going to be a little bit different, so as far as the movie goes. So we are watching another forgotten film, much like the last one.
Yep.
I feel like this one is more forgotten because I feel like I'm the only person that has heard of it, or at least the only person from the 80s that remembers it, because you are a little bit older than I am, James, and you never heard of it.
Just a decade, but you know,
But you never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but
Okay.
I've never seen it.
You've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
But that's it. But until you actually brought it up as our next episode, I was like, who, what? Oh, yeah, I kind of remember hearing about this. But yeah, no.
Yeah. So it's a spoof film, but it's
Aren't they all, brother?
yeah, but it's from the 80s, so it's before spoof films became a thing with like
That's-
Scary Movie and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Saturday the 14th, obviously a spoof on Friday the 13th. It's from 1981. It's a comedy horror film starring the real-life husband and wife team of Paula Prentice and Richard Benjamin.
Oh, he married that hoe.
He did.
Oh,
Co-written,
nice.
co-written and directed by Howard Cohen and Julie Corman. Obviously, like I said, a parody of Friday the 13th. It was released in August 14th, 1981. So, oh wow. So what is the anniversary of that? 18 years? 28 years?
Oh,
No,
God.
38 years, right?
Yeah, shoot.
Let's see, 91, 2001, 2011. That's 30. So yeah, so 38 years actually.
38 damn
So
years.
this movie's coming up on the big 4-0.
I
Wow,
was like 15.
I was literally 1 years old. Yeah, I was a 1 year
Pretty
old when
much.
the movie came out. So I remember watching it when I think I was 4 the first time I saw it, because we watched it later on VHS. It was for a 4-year-old, it was equal parts fun and equal parts terrifying.
Yeah, I could see that for a kid. For a kid, yes. For an adult, it's a eyebrow raiser.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, but it had me as a kid. It had me hooked in because the whole intro is just a single shot of of the house, but it's in cartoon form.
Yes.
And so all these things happen during the credits, and they're all cartoons. So as a kid, it drew me in. I'm like, ooh, what am I watching? Is it like Scooby Doo? So
Scooby Doo had better animation, though.
yeah, the
Sorry to say.
the 5 cells of animation that Scooby Doo had. Yeah, it's better animation. So yeah, so 1981, directed by Howard Cohen, produced by Julie Corman, screenplay by Howard Cohen, story by Jeff Begun. What the hell was that? Begun. Starring Richard Benjamin, Paula Prentice, Severn Darden, Jeffrey Tambor, you know who that is,
Yes, I do.
and Carrie Michelson. Music by Palmer Fuller. That does not sound like a real name. It sounds like a chicken dish. Cinematography by Daniel Lecombre. Distributed by New World Pictures. Released 1981, August 14th. A slim running time of 75 minutes. Does not have the budget, but it made a box office amount of $4 million. And even though Rotten Tomatoes did not come out for many, many, many years after, it does have a Rotten Tomato score of 10%.
I'm thinking this probably has a cult following of some sort, doesn't it?
I think so. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now. So when a movie has a cult following, usually Wikipedia is good about putting that in there, but I don't see it in here at all. It doesn't mention anything about it having a cult following at all. So, but they just released it on Blu-ray back in January of this year. So I would assume it does.
I would say for them to put it on a Blu-ray and release it,
Right.
yeah, I'd say
I
so.
would say so. So
Either that or somebody owes somebody money.
well,
Put it out on DVD. Oh, okay.
either that or somebody realized that they can make money off it by selling to hipsters who buy anything that's old and nostalgic because it's ironic.
Yeah, a lot of these youngins can't take real horror. You know, you
Yeah.
got to have the spoof stuff.
Yeah, hipsters. So what's the movie all about? Well, according to the description, it says this horror spoof follows a family as they move into a creepy house inhabited by frightening creatures, and nightmarish chaos ensues. Okay, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and go over the rating system real quick. The rating system is flipped. So 1 out of 5 shit emojis.
Yep.
But instead of 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, we flip it and 1 is the best, 5 is the worst.
Hence, the more turds, the stank,
shittier it
the
is.
more stank.
More
That's
stank.
right.
So 1 out of 5 shits. These are the ones that you're going to keep in your queue. You consider me new classics, and these are the ones you're going to watch over and over with friends or by yourself. These are in the so bad that they're good category, and you and your friends are going to get endless enjoyment from these. 2 out of 5 shits are the ones you're only going to watch with friends who enjoy shitty movies. These are not for all of your friends, only the ones that really enjoy the stinkers or enjoy watching movies that no one else really likes. They're best with a group who love to riff on movies or play a drinking game along with them.
Absolutely.
3 out of 5 shits. You can at least share these with friends. You don't have to watch it with them. You don't have to make them sit down and say, "Hey, fucker, watch this. You're gonna love it." But say, "Hey, send them a little link in Messenger or whatever. Say, here, watch this movie. I think you'll enjoy it. Let me know what you think."
Yeah, if you got nothing better to do,
Yeah, and
grab a bottle of booze and enjoy it.
yeah, if you and your friend are at the house and you got nothing better to do, then you can watch it with them. But only if you have nothing better to do. But be prepared to drink heavily while watching it. 4 out of 5 shits. You watch these ones with friends. That'll be enough. They may or may not be friends afterward. These are the ones that are so strange that you may not want to see them more than once, but you at least want to share your misery with somebody. So you've
That's
seen
right. You got to spread
right.
the love.
So, and the worst of the worst, the fecal de la matter, 5 out of 5. You're going to bring these out on special occasions, like a forced double date, dinner with the in-laws, or if your daughter brings home a new boyfriend. Do you have someone gone from your life? Then just pop this fucker out and make them watch it, and they'll be gone. Once you're done watching it, you'll want to remove it from your memory with either a mind-altering substance or blunt force trauma.
My favorite. Blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma. So, all right. So with that being said, I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and get started on the review.
Let's do it, brother.
Word up.
It gets bad on Friday the 13th, but it gets worse on Saturday the 14th.
The Book of Evil!
Evil? Evil?
Richard Benjamin, Paula Prentice,
We've inherited a house with a curse.
Oh, come on, Mary. You know you don't believe in curses. Well, somebody did the dishes, and we're the only ones in this house.
an innocent family driven absolutely batty. Just when you thought it was safe to look at the calendar again comes Saturday the 14th. The year's #1 horror comedy spoof.
God, look at all these owls.
When I leave this house, there will be nothing left here to be afraid of.
Every shroud has a silver lining, so if you see every other chiller this year, you'll need Saturday the 14th.
Oh, this must be your charming wife. Famine. War.
Major Pest Control.
Death!
It's your chance to laugh at everything that ever scared you.
Come on, Billy. Quit fooling around.
Give me a kiss, darling.
Oh, let me just see who that is. I'll be back for that kiss.
Be sure to see it before sunrise. Saturday the 14th.
I don't even know where to start with this one, man. So,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, here's the thing. It's parody. It's meant to be
stupid.
taken, stupidly. It's meant to be taken non-seriously. And it starts off just like that off the bat. I mean, the first fucking thing you see is a cartoon image of the house, then the moon, then a very, very badly drawn cartoon wolf that's howling at the moon, and then halfway through his howl,
Has an asthma attack.
he has an asthma attack, starts coughing. So, like, you know exactly where this is going. Anyway, yeah. So the whole intro is a cartoon, just shows the house and different things that happen in the house.
Let me just put it this way, folks. The graphics make Creepshow animation look like heavy metal.
Yeah. Again, it's just a single shot of the house with things happening, Snake going in the house, other weird shit happening that don't have anything to do with the movie. But I guess it's supposed to get you in the mood to realize it's not a serious film at all.
And then these two mopey ass vampires.
So Jeffrey Tambor, and then I don't know who the female is. They play vampires who are at this house. They're wanting to buy it because there's something in the house.
They're just chilling out.
And the realtor shows up and tells them there's bad news because they can't buy the house because just last week the house was willed to the nephew of the owner, played by
Peter Benjamin.
Benjamin Franklin. No, it's not Benjamin Franklin.
Is it Peter?
Who's Peter? Richard Benjamin.
Richard.
Well,
You know why I call him Peter? Is because of his character's name from Westworld.
Westworld, yeah.
He's the guy from Westworld, the wimpy guy that has to go with James Brolin, learn to be a man.
Let's clarify, because most of our audience might be thinking of the hit HBO series of the same
Negative.
name.
We're talking
This
like
is the
1970s Yul Brynner,
Yes.
James Brolin flick.
Yes, the movie.
But that's all the reference we need to make.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Although-
he was the wimp from that movie.
Go and watch that trailer for the 1970 Westworld. Go watch it.
70s-ish.
Whatever. It's around the time. Yeah, go watch the trailer. Watch James Brolin. See how much he looked like Christian Bale at that time.
Yes.
Looks just like Christian Bale
Absolutely.
in that trailer.
And
Okay.
boy, you want to talk about a skew. Sorry, folks. Back on track.
Yeah, so
Well, anyway, there's a dead brontosaurus skeleton in the front yard. And the first thing I'm wondering is fucking Flintstones. You know, I'm like, what the hell?
someone had a good meal.
Because, I mean, there was a big-ass skeleton laying in the front yard. Nobody says anything.
Well, nobody says anything about the fact that they're dressed like fucking vampires. Like Jeffrey Tambor is the quintessential vampire from like what's that Halloween store? The fuck's it called?
Oh, the Spooky Town or whatever it's called.
Whatever it's called. Yeah. So he looks like that. He's wearing a classic 1940s costume Halloween. His wife is wearing, it looks like a cross between the vampire and like Frankenstein's bride, because she's got that white stripe up her head.
She's rocking the Lily Munster.
Yeah, there you go, Lily Munster. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, so then the family shows up. The family shows up at the house while the vampires are still there in the middle of the day. So apparently they're Twilight vampires.
But let us not forget, we were introduced to the family at the reading of the will.
Oh yeah,
Can't forget
reading
this part
of the will, where
and the fact that they're reading it, and during the reading,
the
lawyer basically cusses out his sister for him, and then for some reason
tells him that the house is given to them, but they have to survive the curse.
there's
of
a
the
curse, and then all of a sudden,
he croaks dead.
He just falls flat dead, and nobody gives a fuck. All right,
Yeah, so after that happens, instead of like freaking out, the wife just turns to the husband and says,
we got a house.
"We got a house with a curse."
Oh.
End scene. So then they show up at the house, and the vampires are in daylight with the realtor, and the family moves into the house, and right away strange shit happens.
And it is a stereotypical horror house.
It's an old Victorian.
trashed, full. I mean, Uncle Henry must have been a slob because the place was dirty. There's
Well-
cobwebs everywhere. I mean, ain't no telling how long you've been dead.
He probably didn't even live in that house because the amount of cobwebs and dust that was in there.
Yeah, and the music, I have to say, the music is enjoyable to this point. It's pleasantly corny.
It's very
as I
corny and
call it.
goofy. Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's fun. You
Yeah.
know, it's that kind of thing.
I mean, in this family, there's the husband, the wife, and the son and the daughter, and they are the whitest of white. They're so chipper and so upbeat, and everything is just, oh, it's nothing, it's okay, or oh, gee willikers, that happened.
Oh.
And it's no more emphasized by the fact that they call every noise an owl.
Fucking
Every
owl.
every noise they can't explain. Oh, it must be owls.
Must be owls.
Oh, it's an owl.
Damn it.
There's even a scene where when they're going to bed the first night, the wife hears something at the window, like a tapping. She opens the window. There's a fake ass bat flying outside the window. She goes, "Yeah, you're right. Owls." Not in a sarcastic way, in a dead serious way. She thinks
And
it's
out
an
of
owl.
nowhere, tell me something. Where did the fucking cat come from?
You were jumping way fucking ahead. You're jumping way ahead.
No, he came down the stairs when they came to the house.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh yeah. So I forgot about that. So
But
while
yeah,
they're-
there
that's
is
right.
more. But...
While they're moving in, a mirror breaks and a black cat crosses their path, and they don't fucking blink an eye.
Nothing.
2 indications of bad luck, and they don't blink an eye.
And I was sitting there with my mouth open watching this, and I didn't even pick up on those references.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing those up.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on it. I just slipped
Yeah.
completely past me. A broken mirror and then a fucking
Yeah.
black cat.
Yeah. So, so what happens
Oh,
is when they walk in and the front door closes by itself, and then it cuts to the back of a door in one of the rooms. Doesn't say which one, but there's a mirror hanging on the back of the door. The mirror falls off, cracks in half. That's 7 years bad luck.
Nobody gives
And
a
then
shit.
cuts right away to the father standing by the staircase, and there's a black cat coming down the stairs and crosses his path, but he doesn't even fucking see it. He just ignores it and just isn't aware of the fact that there's two bad luck things that happen right away.
And what comes around, I think, what is it? They're in the kitchen reading something, and that's right. He pulled a note out of the fridge.
Out of the fridge, yeah.
Why it's in the fridge, I have no fucking idea.
No fucking idea. This is the
But
first night
anyway,
still. Yeah.
apparently Uncle Henry at some point in his life visited Hamunaptra and acquired the Book of the Dead.
No. It's not the Book of the Dead. It's called the Book of Evil.
The Book of Evil.
Exactly. And when he's reading the note, the little boy finds the book, and he's opening it and looking at it. And the note that the father reads says, "Don't open the book.
You must not read from the book."
Yeah.
You know.
And the little boy's opening the book, and the first page says Book of Evil. Then it says, "Whoever opens the book shall unleash evil upon the earth." Turns the page, and atop it says Friday the 13th. It says Friday the 13th was bad, and then below that it says, but Saturday the 14th is worse. Dun dun dun.
And always leave it up to a kid to fuck it up.
Yeah, of course. And so you start flipping through it, and there's these hand drawn illustrations. They're pictures actually. They're black and white photographic pictures, and each one has a different monster in it. So he turns the page, and the first one's there, and all of a sudden, through really crazy 1980s effects, the monster leaves the book, the picture is gone.
Yep.
And then shows up outside at a window, like on the outside of a window outside the house, and it's this weird Star Wars looking monster with like these 2 tall antennae where the eyes are on top, and then
Kind of look like Mikey from MIB.
yeah.
Yep.
Good- yeah.
Same
Good
kind
reference.
of long extended eyeball.
Good reference. And so then he turns the page again, and there's a mummy on that page, and that disappears and ends up in another part of the house behind a chair. And as he's creeping out, you clearly see that he's got the whole bandage wraps and everything, but instead of makeup, they put a fucking mask on. But you can see the white skin of the actor's eye underneath where the eye hole is.
That's, well,
And then
it's like, what do you expect? What, they got a budget of what?
they didn't even say the budget. So
I love it when they don't put a budget. They're like, we don't want to tell you. We're embarrassed to tell you how much money we spent on this motherfucker.
So then he turns the page again, and there's some sort of weird werewolf type thing that's there. It disappears. It ends up outside the house, and it too is clearly a very bad Halloween costume.
Horrible.
The effects in this movie, the costumes in this movie, are absolute Spirit Halloween store.
That's
costume.
it.
That's
Spirit,
it. Yeah.
not Spooky Town.
No, but they're
Spooky Town is those things you can buy to make a little haunted town.
there. You go. That's what that
it
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they clearly spent most of their money, whatever the budget was, to get the house, because the house is an old
Apparently.
classic Victorian house. And by the way, it's on Elm Street. Another reference there.
Yep.
But because the costumes The costumes of the creatures are so basic.
Oh,
in the most basic way. Way.
Yeah.
And like they didn't even, like, you know, when they wear masks, normally they put like black makeup, or they sort of glue the eyes down around the actor's eyes to make it look seamless.
These
They don't
motherfuckers
even
look
do
like these motherfuckers look like trick or treaters.
Yeah, they do. I swear to God, I think the creatures from the original Star Trek series look better than these things do.
That's right, damn it, the salt sucker.
Yeah.
You know,
And so then that happens, and then everybody goes to bed.
more fucking owls.
More fucking owls.
I'm just throwing that in.
Yeah, because everything's owls. And the kid gets visited by the Star Wars creature in the middle of the night, wakes up the family. Dad goes in there, tells him he's having a nightmare. There's no monsters.
And he didn't just go in there too. He puts a death grip on him. You
Yeah,
notice how he grabs
he
him
holds
like,
him
look,
down
you
and
little
says-
shit.
say,
I'm trying to sleep.
You're having a
Of course, he
nightmare.
doesn't say that, but
No.
that's what you get.
No, he's very like diplomatic and very white about it. He's like, no, you're just having a nightmare. It's okay. You're gonna be all right. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep, you fucker. And and so like he's in there and he's telling the kid to go to sleep, and the kid's like, I can't go to sleep. There's a monster there, and he says there's no monster, and he's like, look, there's no monster. And he stands up to show him, and when he stands up, the monster's there.
But he's juking.
But he stands behind him and does that whole Tom and Jerry routine where every
That's
time
right.
the dad turns one way, the monster goes behind him the other way. And I'm like, it's a fucking Tom and Jerry routine, and the monster's doing the routine.
The monster's signaling to the kid, just don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Be quiet.
So then the dad leaves. So then the monster, even though the monster didn't attack the dad for whatever reason, he decides to try to attack the kid.
I think he wants the book. I think he's after the book, and the kid don't understand it.
So then, yeah, he was able to knock him out the window using the book because he was afraid of the book for whatever reason.
He jacked him in the damn alien, and whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever the creature
The Star
is.
Wars creature.
The Star Wars creature,
you know,
yeah.
The Cantina boy hit the ground,
Yeah.
and he's sitting there. He's not dead. He just,
And then everybody goes back to sleep. The kid goes back to sleep,
and just
like
thinks nothing of it.
Yeah. So then, like, the next morning, you know, the parents leave to go buy some supplies, and it's just
Buy some supplies.
the kid and the sister there.
Kids watching TV or doing something or reading. And
Oh, it's another thing too. That the night before, the first night, as well as in the morning, the sister tries to watch TV with a gigantic old school remote, and she finds that every channel has the Twilight Zone playing.
It's only
every
the Twilight Zone.
every channel, and so she's pissed because they can't get anything on TV. He's trying to find his book the next morning. He can't find the book, and so she decides. But
That's right. He's looking
for the book. She decides she's gonna go take a bath because she stayed home from school because she's not feeling well. And so while she's getting ready to take a bath, she has the water running, and you hear a rip off of the Jaws theme,
and
a fin comes, like a little black fin comes up in the water like 3 or 4 times.
Skookum.
The skookum's back, and and so she gets into the tub, and while she's there, in an homage to Nightmare on Elm Street,
That's right.
they the Gill Man, a very, very poorly made Gill Man.
Not Creature of the Black Lagoon / Sleestack /
Yeah.
he's
He stands up.
/ dude in a fucked up looking rubber
He stands up. He stands up in the tub. The water was probably 8 inches deep. He's about 6 feet
at least,
but somehow she didn't feel him when she got into the tub.
and he didn't even make any waves.
He didn't make any waves. So then he starts to attack her. She freaks out. Of course, she hauls ass downstairs to get her brother.
But let's not forget, he's really not trying to harm her at first.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he's subtitled.
His first interaction with her is subtitled. And what does it say, James?
Excuse me, miss. Have you seen a large book here? Or
Yes.
some shit like
So
that.
he's trying to talk to her.
All these creatures are obviously looking for the book.
And he asks her if, in a very manly way, if she's seen the book.
But yet she's
then-
screaming her full head off.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. So
Obviously, because she doesn't speak monster, obviously. She can't understand what he's saying. So she runs downstairs, get her brother. He has no idea how to help her because he needs to get the book. She distracts him by getting the creature downstairs. He runs up to find the book.
And what's funny is during this entire sequence, brother, all I could look around and do is say, somebody needs to dust this motherfucking house. All this chasing and shit's going on. All I'm looking at is cobwebs and dirt. Somebody need to clean this.
It's an old ass house. And so she's being chased by the monster while he's trying to find the book. He can't find the book. Prior to that, as the parents were leaving, let me put in there, as the parents were leaving, a cop shows up for, I forget what he said he was there for, but he goes around the side of the house. He was there looking for
I
something.
didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here literally watching this movie, and I didn't catch jack shit about this cop. And then he just shows up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where the fuck he come from?
And so while the boy's trying to find the book, the girl's being chased by the monster, and the cop hears her screaming. He busts in. He starts shooting the thing.
He shoots the lock off the front fucking door without even trying.
Yeah.
He just shoots the damn.
And while that's happening, the classic cavalry music is being played in the background.
That's it. Yeah.
And so he gets in. The first shot he hits, he shoots. He hits the creature dead center of the forehead. Blood spurts out.
All he does is piss him off, though.
Pisses him off more. He shoots him again. The creature comes after him, kills the cop. The girl passes out. He drags the cop's body outside. Okay, so all this is going on. The kid's trying to find the book, can't find it. Kid comes back downstairs, sees the sister passed out in her towel at the foot of the stairs. The creature's gone. The cop is gone. So he doesn't know what to do. So what does he do?
He hides the cop's hat, first of all.
No, that's what he does last. He takes the sister back upstairs.
Puts her back in the tub.
Puts her in the tub.
In a full wrapped towel.
Puts her in the tub, hangs her there.
She starts to sink.
Yeah, she starts to sink. Then he picks her back up, puts the arm over the tub. Then he goes back downstairs, sees the cop hat, puts the cop hat under the cushion of the couch, sits down to pretend to read a book. Parents walk in, like, how did everything go? He's like, oh, went fine.
Everything's
just nothing.
fine.
Like nothing fucking happened.
Everything's
like nothing
happened.
happened.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? That's typical of these kind of movies. It's all nonsensical anyway. That's what it's supposed to be.
So then the mom goes upstairs and sees daughter and sleep in the tub and wakes her up, and she thinks she had a bad dream because she's in the tub still.
So she's like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah. And she tells the mom there's something weird with the house, and the mom said there's not. And she says that we'll find out more when the neighbors come over tomorrow night. And she's like, what's going on tomorrow night? She says, well, we're having a party at the house, get to know the neighbors and stuff. And they're like, yeah, it'll be tomorrow night on the 13th. And she's like, Friday's the 13th. Saturday's the 14th. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, then Saturday the 14th it is.
Yeah, so the kid now realizes he has until then to find the book because he needs to get the creatures back inside there before then. Otherwise, he's going to unleash hell on earth. And what happens after that?
Then we get to a cleaning scene. Mom is cleaning and
that's right,
farting around, and she's got a mop. She's looking in his closet or something and that. And then she hears this squeaking noise and like, what the hell? So she starts looking around, thinks nothing of it, and she goes to close the thing again. All of a sudden, squeak! It does it again.
Yeah.
So it's fucking owls, man.
Yeah, she says owl. So she goes upstairs. She goes into the attic, and when she finally looks around, she sees a whole attic full of bats hanging from the attic.
No, we'll just refer to them as owls.
Well,
they are bats, but we will refer to them as owls.
Because she looks at them and she says, man, so many owls.
God, look at all these owls.
So stupid.
And this is one of the weird, like, okay, so like with the creature of the Black Lagoon, it was kind of funny because like he was trying to ask her for the book, but then he started attacking her. But then it was silly because he's in a bad costume. But then the cop shoots at him and blood spurts out. So it's a mixture of goofiness with real sort of like graphic, like
a little bit of gore, yeah,
gore. And so this happens again with this scene where she's upstairs and it's quite clearly fake bats. But then she starts getting attacked. They start coming after her.
As I describe it, she was assaulted, by 99-cent Kmart Halloween bats on fish line.
Yeah, you can even see the line in some of the bats. When some of the shots are coming, you see the line the bats are on. But here's the thing. They start attacking her, and they attack her legs, and attack her shoulders and her face. And like they're
biting the shit out of her and drawing blood.
They rip her jeans. There's holes and blood in her jeans, and they're drawing blood. And it's one of the more gory bat attacks I've seen in movies.
And then you hear blah blah blah.
Yeah, all of a sudden the bats stop, and
vampire voice saying,
and the vampire's there. He's in the attic saying, "You can leave now. I won't let them hurt you." But she's already like fucked up.
Yeah.
We also forgot to mention the first night they were there.
That's true.
When the father went to go check on the kid, he comes back into the bedroom. He's talking to what he thinks is his wife in the bed. Wife's not in bed.
Nope.
He realizes she's not there. He gets up looking for her. She comes through a doorway on at the end of the hallway. And the cuts to her neck, and she's been bitten by a vampire.
Bitten. That is right. We did forget that.
Yeah, so that's why he does that. Obviously, he's the one that bit her, and so that's why he does that. He stops her from being attacked, and so she's slowly turning into a quote-unquote vampire. So, yeah, so then that's that. So So then the husband decides he needs to call an exterminator. So he looks in the phone book for an exterminator, and he finds one called Major Pest Control.
Major Pest Control. This is the Major speaking.
Yeah.
Little crusty old bastard.
Yeah,
You know, and he got his hat on kind of half sideways.
It looks like a drunk major.
Well, anyway, he says, well, I can have somebody out there next Tuesday, and I'm going to still call him Peter Benjamin. I don't care.
Peter Benjamin, okay.
He starts screaming, no, I got to have him today. But he says it in this very corny. To this point, you can guarantee the movie is intentionally corny in its dialogue and its effects, everything.
Yeah.
So,
Like, no, you got to have it today. You got to get it today. Today.
It's meant basically as a fun parody. And if you expect anything more out of it, you're going to be disappointed.
And so then he hangs up and he
yells over to his assistant, Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. We have
Exterminator
bats
at large.
in the belfry. Yeah. He's been reduced
Bats
to
in the belfry.
exterminator.
That's right.
Yeah. And so they send over Van Helsing, who shows up with a suitcase, and he's wearing a coat that's like a cape coat. And
all he's missing is a big rimmed hat.
Yeah, he's total complete character. And so he goes in there, and they're saying, you're the exterminator, and he's like, yes, I'm here to get rid of bats in the belfry. Like, you don't look like it. You're not dressed like an exterminator to fool the bats. Ha 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 ha. And so he's talking to him, and he walks up the stairs, and he's about to tell the husband, he's like, by the time I'm through here, you'll have nothing to be afraid of. And he opens up his cape, but at the same time that's happening, the wife is starting to slowly come from upstairs, kind of in a dazed state. And she turns to look down the stairway just as he's throwing his arms and his cape up, scares the living shit out of her.
And she lets out a funny ass scream.
She freaks the fuck out. She's having a complete fucking freak out, and then she runs back into the room.
When I leave this house, there will be nothing left here to be afraid of. Oh, this must be your charming wife.
All right, so then cut to her laying in the bed, and she's completely just looking
she's like catatonic. She's just kind
Yeah.
of laying there staring at the ceiling, obviously under the spell.
Yeah, and husband comes in and says, get some rest, you'll be fine. And then at the same time, the daughter is downstairs trying to get the roast ready, and she opens up the roast package, and it's the head of the policeman who came by earlier. But before she sees it, her and her little brother are having this whole conversation in the kitchen, walking around the table. It's a very small kitchen, walking around the table, and none of them notice the head at all until she...
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, until she finally turns and looks right at it, freaks out, goes upstairs, gets the parents, they come down, or the dad, he comes down to take a look, and when they come back in the kitchen, it's gone, and there actually is a roast there.
Yep.
On a serving tray.
And what's funny
cooked.
is, like I said, what it is, because she goes back in there while he's upstairs talking to his wife, or trying to, and she's catatonic. She screams, comes running upstairs, says the man from next door is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He's like, I was wondering, he said something stupid.
He said, I wonder what he wants.
And so he gets up off the bed. When he does, the wife just hits the deck.
That's a whole different scene.
Is it all different?
Yeah, it's a whole different scene. That's later on.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. They run together because they look so similar, but yeah, that's a whole different scene. So
scratch that.
Yeah, so then they get ready for the party. Van Helsing's trying to find the book, trying to get the boy to find the book as well. And then the husband goes back in.
What is good is, like you said, when before the party, they're planning a party, but they do have that first dinner together.
Right. Oh, yes, right. Yeah.
Down, and Van Helsing actually gives his exposition.
That's right.
At that point, and explains the mission, and that he's been tracking this book for hundreds of years. And
yeah.
The Book of Evil!
Blah, 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 and all this shit.
Oh, yeah, because that's when I was like, oh, well, I guess we better sell the house.
You better just sell the
Didn't
damn house. That's
you knew
it.
somebody who wanted to buy it. Let's sell it.
That's it.
And the wife's like, no, we can't sell it. This is our home. We have to live here.
And that's when he delivers probably our favorite line. When he tells them, he goes, sell a house. He says, that's like selling the barn after the horses have eaten the children or some shit.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time to sell the house.
Selling the house now would be like closing the barn door after the horses have eaten your children.
Yeah, closing the barn door after the horses have eaten your children. That's right.
So he tells them they have to have a dinner party, and they have to have the book and have it find the book before midnight, otherwise the world is going to end.
Yep.
And so then that's the end of that scene, and then they go.
We cut outside, and the vampires are on a stakeout.
Oh yeah, they're sitting there talking and
sitting there yapping,
having a stakeout, and
all of a sudden
there's marital bickering going on.
Marital bickering. That was 100 years ago, and blah blah blah. And I don't trust you, and hey, I want to see her neck. What the hell you been doing?
You don't see if you bit her neck.
It's funny shit.
But then they so what's funny is that the Waldemar, Jeffrey Tambor, all of a sudden decide he wants to leave, so he does this little shimmy in his seat. And then this really bad red glow effect comes up, and he turns into this vampire bat.
Turns into as I call it, Clash of the Titans claymation bat.
Yeah, and so it takes off, and she's like, "Well, I'm coming with you." So then she does the same thing.
So I ain't trust your ass. No.
Bad bat, and then they fly into the house. They fly into the house looking for the book. They head downstairs.
Yep.
They run into Van Helsing, who's holding this jar of what looks like liquid that's boiling with like smoke and stuff.
Yep.
And he confronts him and tells him, you need to leave. I can kill you with the stuff, whatever. And they take off. And he's like, some vampires will believe anything. And he starts to drink the actual liquid.
Whatever it is, he made some kind of drink or some shit.
Yeah. So anyway, then let's flash forward that they're getting ready for the party because it's just kind of like random filler. That's not really a whole lot going on.
Yeah, exactly. It starts to get a little drug out.
And I feel like this whole last part is drug out, really.
Yeah, exactly. So they all go to bed after this dinner, and the monsters.
The daughter sleepwalks. Well, she gets up like she's going to the bathroom, and she walks down the hallway, and she goes into what she thinks is the bathroom, and then it cuts to her, and she's in the corner, and she's like, "This isn't the bathroom. This is the kitchen. What am I doing in the kitchen?" And then
all of a sudden, you got this major throwdown going.
You've got monsters playing cards at the table. You've got a monster in the fridge eating everything in the fridge,
and then you got one pissed off monster trying to keep everything clean. And
who's wearing like
the werewolf with an Aunt Jemima head
he's wearing this giant dish glove with like a hat and like a little outfit and dusting everything,
like old school maid's outfit.
And then
something.
More monsters join and
a whole bunch we haven't seen.
Yeah, a whole bunch. We see one more time and that's it. And they just start making a whole mess, and she's able to sneak out, and then she sneaks out and she's upstairs, and there's all this smoke in the house for some reason.
Yeah, and then she's got some other monster that tails her.
The Sleestack, the fish monster.
Oh, the Skookum.
Yeah, the Skookum tails her.
Okay.
Follows her back into the bedroom.
Okay, well, it was one of those.
Yeah, follows her back into the bedroom, and they do this whole routine where it's smoky in her bedroom. And so neither one can see, so they're both reaching out. She's trying to find her bed, he's trying to find her, and they're just going around in circles, missing each other slightly.
I know the movie is stupid and it's meant to be stupid, but that scene was kind of worthless.
And it was drawn out. It was played for for effect. It was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And then it just so happens that he ends up outside of the room. She's able to close the door. Doesn't even know he's still there. He was in there, and then finds her way back to bed. Goes back to bed. Just goes to sleep after seeing all those monsters.
Because those covers are monster proof.
Apparently,
kid sheets are monster proof.
She just saw like 6 monsters, and then she had one in there with her. And her whole room is smoking, but she's like, "I'm going back to bed."
And that's it. And then just cuts to morning.
Yeah,
they go down to the breakfast. They're eating breakfast, and they are eating Count Chocula cereal.
Speaking of which, I need to address that for a minute. That's one thing I love about the movie as well, is that in today's terms, would be called what do they call that when they have it's product placement?
Yes.
And people get pissed off whenever there's product placement is used. Like one of the biggest ones that people always complain about is Man of Steel.
Yes.
So like the fight in not in Metropolis but Smallville, they crash through an IHOP. There's a Sears nearby. There's all these stores and stuff, and they call it product placement because the company paid to have their logo in there. I have no problem with product placement because that's just the real world.
And that's a badass product placement because Monster cereal is good shit.
Yeah, but this movie has great 1980s product placement. And even if it's not meant to be product placement because, it's not made nowadays. Like, it's not Stranger Things where they make it nowadays, but then they shove a bunch of 80s stuff in there because that's what they had at the time. This was made in 81. All this stuff was there. They have the old school Wonder Bread package. They have the old school Skippy peanut butter jar.
That's right.
They have the old school Fruit Loops box from the 80s. The Count Chocula box. I mean, this movie is just stuffed full of... It's mostly food.
Yep.
Stuffed full of food product placement, and I love it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So anyways, so they go downstairs, and Van Helsing again tells them they have to find the book. And then they get ready for the party. And that's when the husband goes back upstairs to tell the wife, we're getting ready for the party, and he pulls back the covers and sees there's dirt under
Yeah,
her on the
that's
bed.
right.
And she was like, "Oh, I must have spilled the flower pot," even though there's like fucking 8 feet of dirt on the bed. And he doesn't even blink an eye. He says, "Oh, we gotta get this cleaned up."
Oh, clean this up, yeah.
So she's like, "Well, here, let me give you a kiss." And so she goes to give him a kiss.
That's
and
right.
That's when the doorbell rings, and he turns to look towards. It's like, I wonder who that is.
And she starts hissing.
She's trying to bite his neck, and he's like, "Let me go see who that is." And so he stands up while she's hanging on to him.
That's right.
And then she falls flat on the floor.
He just drops her ass.
And he turns around and looks, and he's like, "I'll be back for that kiss."
Yeah.
He smiles and walks off.
Stupid.
So that's when the kid realizes he can't leave because he tries to open the door, and there's all this wind and stuff that's blowing, and they're trapped inside the house.
Pretty funny. Yep.
But then the doorbell rings, and a delivery boy comes, and he's brought booze and chips and pizza.
He's brought the pizza, the club soda.
Yeah. But when he opens the door, it's completely normal outside. So then he brings the stuff in, and then when he goes to leave, it's not
trapped.
normal. He's trapped. He's got that wind and stuff, so he's
basically
stuck there.
anybody that comes to the house is trapped.
So then it cuts to a little later on, and the party's getting ready to start, and people start showing up.
That's all the family.
It's all the family, and when they open the door, it's normal outside.
It's normal outside, but they
All
come
the family
inside,
comes in.
and then about for the next 15 minutes of the movie is just a bunch of weird dialogue and senseless crap.
I feel, even though this whole movie is a parody and it's completely ridiculous, I do feel like the first part of it was much stronger than the last part. And it does feel like the last part, they didn't know where to go.
They just threw it. They just said, "Hey, just do what you got to do. Let's get through this time period.
Everything
be done
in,
with it."
yeah,
exactly.
And so, like, what is funny is that all the people that come over, the family members and the neighbors, whatever, including the neighbor, the wife of the cop who was killed.
Yep.
She comes by. Every single person that comes over brings them a housewarming gift. And every single housewarming gift is an electric can opener. So later on,
12 of them on the table.
Later on, there's a scene where they're all gathered around listening to Van Helsing talk, and you see there's a little table where they put all the gifts, and it's just like 8 fucking electric can openers all right there. And that leads to what I think is a funny scene where they're trying to find Billy and they can't find him. So Van Helsing calls everybody together, all the people together, and says, "Look,
everybody, I have an announcement to make. We're going to play a little game. Somewhere in this house is hidden a small boy. Let's see who is the first to find him."
What do we win?
You win? Win. What do you win? You get to keep the boy.
No.
No. You get an electric can opener. Good.
We're gonna play a game. The game is find the boy." And they're like, "We need to find Billy." And so somebody pipes up, "What do we win?" And he's like, "You get to keep the boy."
And Mom's like,
"No."
"No."
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait, no. You get and then he's like, you get an electric can opener," and they get all excited.
They get pumped.
Even though they all brought the fucking can openers. They get excited for the prize that they just brought.
And which brings on finally the climax because thank goodness, because like I said, it was dragging on and it was time to wrap it up. So what happens is they come down, the vampires actually show up.
Right. All the monsters are in the house.
Yes.
They start coming into the house, and the vampires show up, and so you get this battle between.
That's right. The monsters all start showing up and chasing people around.
Yeah, they chase people. They kill one person. You see the real estate lady who's dead. She appears as a dead body or whatever. But the vampires show up, and then they show up and they have Billy with them, the kid, the son,
with a cape.
Yeah.
He's rocking the vampire cape.
And so then he's like, they're not the monsters. He's telling Van Helsing, "You're the monster. They showed me who you are. You're in this book too." And so Dracula, it's Dracula and Van Helsing, of course, have this battle that goes on for way too fucking long, for about 5 minutes,
with cheap, stupid
special light effects, like worse than worse, like Emperor Lightning come out of their hands. And then all these weird 1980s sci-fi effects that come out back and forth. But then there's this segment where they battle by making faces, and noises come out of the mouth like boat horns, and construction jackhammers.
It spirals
chicken
into
balks.
Complete stupidity.
Yeah, and they're having battles with facial expressions. All the while, the monsters are all coming up behind Van Helsing. And so without actually being told flat out, you find out that Van Helsing wasn't the good guy. He wanted the book so that he could unleash the monsters on the world and rule over them.
Yep.
And the vampires were actually there to stop him from doing that.
So, what ends up happening is the boy, Billy, actually, I think he tries to either hits him with it.
He tries to hit him with it, yeah.
And he grabs the book and he's like, ha, ha, ha. And then all of a sudden, it lights up this brilliant red.
Yeah.
And whammo, he's gone.
And he gets enveloped by the red light, and then he's gone. And so are the monsters.
And poof, everything
and
disappears.
The sun
and
comes
evil's
out,
punished.
and the vampires leave. And they're like, he thought he could, by destroying the book, he could unleash the monsters and rule the world. And that's not how you do it. And then they leave.
And that was it. And it was pretty flat ending.
Yeah.
Like
very
I said,
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. And then
credits roll.
And that was it. And that was Saturday the 14th. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll give my review first. This movie has not aged well since I saw it last, which I got to be honest with you. I think I saw it last when I was like 6. So that means the last time I have seen this movie was 33 years ago.
Holy hell.
I have not watched this movie in 33 years. But to be honest, not to be honest, but to be honest, but the reason why, because it wasn't available before recently.
That is true.
The only way you could find it was if you found a pirated copy online somewhere, or you found a pirated copy on YouTube somewhere.
Or perhaps you owned the VCR or Betamax.
Or you owned the Betamax and you own the copy. Because I even online, like on eBay, I couldn't find a copy. But the copies that were pirated online were always the original Betamax, 320p or whatever. Really, really shitty copies.
Yeah, and I think you said it was just until recently they put it on
Blu-ray,
actual Blu-ray. Yeah.
And the one we watched on Tubi.tv, which, by the way, guys, great service, Tubi.tv, completely free, tons of movies on there, not just horror movies, but other movies on there. Good,
you got to deal with a couple commercials, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It really is.
But the copy they had on Tubi, I believe, was the Blu-ray because it was actually very, very good quality.
It was very clear,
very, very HD quality. Anyway, so I hadn't seen it in 33 years. Like I said, all those scenes with the monsters, even though like I look at them now and they're obviously costumes. They're, by the way, it's another thing we decided. You and I realized that this entire movie, was made by Spirit Halloween store.
That's it.
Because the entire house is filled with the fucking props.
If you can buy it in the Spirit Halloween store, it was in this movie.
All the costumes are Spirit Halloween costumes. And anyway, so Spirit Halloween. So haven't seen it in 33 years. It's completely different now watching than I was as a kid. It had moments where it scared the hell out of me as a kid because the monsters were they were so outrageous looking. I mean, one looked like a fucking chupacabra, like a giant chupacabra.
Yep.
No idea what it was. It was all gray, but it had this weird fin coming down. You saw it like twice in the movie total. They don't explain what the monsters are or what they're called or what their origins are. They just don't. They're just there, which I love. I kind of love that they're just there. You're not meant to know what they are. They're just there. That being said, it had quite a few actual laugh out loud moments. The story was pretty lame. The acting was actually really good, I think, for what it was. And the script was okay. It was kind of weak towards the end there. Cinematography was fine. Direction was, I guess, the best it could be. But I think all in all, I think I'm gonna go 2 out of 5 on this one.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think this is one you can
Giving
watch.
us some love. Yep.
I think you can watch this one over and over. You can play a drinking game. There's definitely enough reoccurring things here that you could play a drinking game without dying.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's something I would watch probably on Halloween or even on an actual Saturday the 14th. That's just there. That comes. I think we have one next month in September coming up.
Yep.
I'd watch on Saturday the 14th and have a drinking game with some friends. It's just goofy fun. You just can't take it seriously at all.
That is very true. All right. Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. For what it was and its intention, they did very well.
Okay.
We also had to consider the time period when it comes to the graphics and the
81.
effects and things like that. I get it. Acting was, it was dorky, but superbly done as far as for like I said, for what it was. The script, it's typical. It's nothing really too,
it's
too stellar about it or too,
it's nothing groundbreaking.
No, but the movie is fun. It is laughable. If you got a little bit of a sense of humor, you will enjoy this movie. If you're an asshole, well, you may not.
If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
But I am going to join you, and I'm going to give it 2 turds because it's actually an enjoyable, stupid movie. I mean,
maybe Maybe it's just more. It's just so enjoyable compared to what we just saw recently. That
Yeah,
I think almost anything could have followed the Crazies, and you would have given it a 2 because that
Pretty
was
much.
so bad.
but like I said, I'm going with the spirit of the intent
yeah,
of the
that's true.
movie,
That's true.
and it was well done. We have to always take that in consideration. So
Right.
based on the time period, the material, the acting, yeah, I feel good giving it a 2 turd.
All right, 2
So-
turds. All right, so check it out, guys.
Drinking game.
Show
for
your
sure.
friends. Only the ones that enjoy shitty movies because they will get a kick out of it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just a good. It's not a feel good movie, but it's a movie you can actually watch, and you don't even have to really pay attention to it because it's not anything too heavy. It's super
Nope.
light.
It is.
Super light.
It really is. It's not.
No.
There's no thickened plot right here.
No,
It's
no.
pretty simplistic.
All right, James. So tell them where they can find us.
Okay, you can find us on Podbean, Castbox, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and iTunes.
That's correct.
We are also on social media on all the big 3 evil monsters,
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under What the Suck Podcast.
That's correct.
And we definitely appreciate the support we've been getting and hope you go there and follow us,
Yes.
subscribe.
Subscribe,
By
bitches.
all means,
Yes,
please.
click that like, click that subscribe, click that follow. Don't be a fucking freeloader. But regardless, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all listening and hope you enjoyed the show. And there's so many more movies coming up, so don't worry, we will not run out of material.
Never.
So, all right. So until next time, I'm Chris,
And I'm James.
and we'll see you guys at the next Suckfest.
You bet. And if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.